Hey guys, Ryan Padilla with Apogee Performance Nutrition. Today on the channel, we're talking about knee injuries, how to prevent them simply by strengthening the muscles around your knee. Let's get into this. Okay guys, so I'm sure you know someone who has injured their knee doing simple things just by daily activities or going on something as easy as a hike. These injuries are known as acute injuries, where it's not happening over a long period of time. It happens very quickly. It can happen from a fall or just simply losing your balance and tweaking your knee. Now, what I'm going to do today is show you 4 exercises that you can do to strengthen the muscles around your knee. And the main muscles around your knee are your quadriceps. And on the other side, the back side of your knee, is the hamstrings. And the good news is you can do these at home. You don't even have to have a bunch of expensive equipment in order to do it. A couple dumbbells, maybe a raised platform. So let's get into these exercises so that you can start strengthening your knee now so it's not a problem for you later. The first 3 exercises are going to be quad focused exercises. Now, this first exercise is going to be hitting the vastus lateralis, that muscle on the outside of the thigh. When you do these exercises, the entire muscle, the entire quadricep will be worked. But depending on how much stretch you give at a certain angle will bias a certain part of the quadriceps muscle to give a little bit more growth and strength in that side of the muscle. The first exercise, it's going to be a front heel elevated lunge. What I have here is a 45-pound plate. It's going to allow for the elevation of the elevated heel portion of this exercise. Now, I'm going to stand a little bit, probably about a stride weight apart from the weight. And with my working leg, which I'm going to have my right leg be the working leg right now, I'm going to step onto the weight here, and I'm going to be lunging forward to the point where my knee goes past my toes, and I'm going to keep my chest up and proud. What this is going to do is it's really going to allow for a full stretch in the vastus lateralis here to really work that portion of the muscle. Now, like I said, everything else is getting worked too, but it's really going to bias this right here. What we want to do is about 3 sets of 8. And as you get better at this, what you can do, and I'll show you that too, is you can hold on to dumbbells to make this exercise harder. So here we go. Okay, so foot flat on the plate here. I'm not touching back here with my knee. Keeping my chest proud and up. Knee goes out over my toes, and then I'm pushing back up. Okay? Okay, and here's what it would look like if you're holding dumbbells. Next exercise is going to be cannonball squats. Now, cannonball squats are called this because you kind of get into the position of a cannonball, like this. When you jump into the pool and say cannonball, this is going to bias the vastus medialis, the teardrop here. Okay. And what we're going to be doing is, again, we have a 45-pound plate on the ground. You're going to put your heels up on the plate. And the reason why you do this is when your heels are up, it's going to force you to really get the focus into your quads. And having your chest up and proud is also going to get that stretch in the quads. So what you're going to do is put your heels onto the plate like this, kind of point your toes out just a little bit like a duck, all right? And you're going to get into the cannonball position. So you can put your hands up like this or just have them out, do whatever you want. But here you go. Pushing the knees out, over and past your toes, okay? Get a full stretch, and then focus right here on pushing it back up. All right, you're gonna do 3 sets of about 8 to 10 reps. And when this becomes too easy for you, all right, you're control it. This is just an easy movement. You can add weight, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so when you add weight to this exercise, you can do it one of 2 ways. Now, you can do it a traditional cannonball squat way where you hold the weight between your legs like this, all right? But if it's pulling you forward so much that you're starting to get a stretch in your ass, your quad, or sorry, your glutes, then you need to change the position of the dumbbell to force your chest back up. Okay, so I'm going to show you both variations. It's going to be the traditional cannonball where you're holding it between your legs, and then next it will be almost like a goblet squat. All right, so then goblet squat style. So this next exercise I've shown on my channel before and on Instagram, and I've gotten comments of people saying, well, that's how you're going to hurt your knee, or you're going to hurt your back. What? Guys, listen, if something's hurting you, just don't do it. I'm simply just showing you how to do an exercise that takes no equipment. You don't need any equipment. You basically just need a wall. And how it focuses on the rectus femoris, that middle muscle on the front facing portion of your thigh. It's responsible for extending your knee as well as helping with the hip hinge, bringing your thigh close up toward your torso. So this is called the sissy squat. Yes, the sissy squat. And most of the times, it's sissies that don't want to do it. All right, so if you can do a sissy squat without any support and holding on to like a door jamb or the power rack uprights, you probably are a performer for Cirque du Soleil. Okay, but for the rest of us in the world who have a little trouble with balance and coordination, but still want to try and do the sissy squat, simply hold on to an upright beam. It could be one of these. If you don't have one of these, stand in the middle of a door and do it that way. So holding on here, I'm going to be having my feet about shoulder width apart. I'm going to show you this way and this way so you can see what it looks like. This right here, and then you're going to lean back and you're going to drive your knees forward towards the ground like this. You're also going to be up on your toes. So here we go. Okay, so leaning back like this, you're getting a full stretch in the rectus femoris right here, that top muscle, right? Pushing back up with your quads, bringing it back down. Holding on to my upright here, and feet shoulder width apart, leaning back with my torso, driving the knees down towards the ground, bringing myself back up. Okay, so that does it for the quad exercises. Now let's get into the hamstring exercise. Look, there's plenty of exercises that you can do to focus on your hamstrings. But this is for the people that want some variation in their exercises, but also the people who message me and say, Ryan, I don't have a super expensive home gym, or I don't have the ability to get to a gym or afford a gym membership. So this is for the guys who can get their stuff off Craigslist for super cheap. And all you need is one plate and a couple dumbbells to make it a little bit more difficult. This is called toe elevated Romanian deadlifts. And what it's going to do is allow for more stretch and activation in the hamstrings by lifting your toes up off the ground. And when you have the dumbbells introduced into this exercise, it's going to allow for more stimulus and strain in the muscle to allow for that growth and strength building. So here we go. I'm going to show you this exercise without any weights to begin with so you can just see the movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my toes elevated onto the 45-pound plate. Now with RDLs, you're going to have a slight bend in your knees, and what you're doing is you're working on the hip hinge, this here, by driving your butt backwards. So here we go. Back, back, back. All right. Now here, I'm feeling the most stretch in my hamstrings, okay, because of this angle that is happening here by lifting up my toes. All right. When you bring your body back up, I want you to Focus on contracting your hamstrings to move the levers to raise your body back up. And then you're gonna bring it back down, get a full stretch, push your butt backwards, bring it back up, okay? Now I'm gonna show you with dumbbells. Okay, so here we go now. We have our dumbbells, we got our toes elevated up onto the plate, slight bend in the knee, pushing our butt backwards, getting that full stretch in the hamstrings, using the hamstrings to pull ourselves back up to straight. So there you have it. That is the toes elevated Romanian deadlift with dumbbells and without dumbbells. You can also do this with a barbell if you have a barbell, but if you don't, I just showed you how to do it without it. So by doing these exercises, you will be strengthening the muscles around your knee that are responsible for knee movement and knee stability. So as you get older and you start to lose your balance a little bit, you're not going to fall and break your hip and die. But also, if you get into some weird situation where you're on like uneven ground or gravel, something like that, and you take a little bit of twist or fall, you're not going to tear your knee up because your knee is already strong and supported by strong muscles. If you think I earned it, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and share this video with anyone who might need these exercises in their life. Young, old, almost dead, doesn't matter. Okay, and also go check out Apogee Performance Nutrition. That is my company. I have a pre-workout on the market right now, Outer Limit pre-workout. Link in the description, apogeesubs.com. Thank you. See you in the next one.